It's not like any other house when you see Mike Wolfe's. Mike has spent decades finding little-known gems all over America. But the treasure chest he calls home is full of history, personality, and passion. His love for old homes doesn't end at his own, though. It's spread out over an amazing $5 million of real estate. Mike Wolfe's properties, which range from a rustic Tennessee retreat to a historic business revival, hide secrets that only a real collector could make up. Come with us as we go inside the world of American Picker's biggest star. You have to see these houses for yourself to believe them, the man behind the huge homes. Most people don't know that Mike Wolfe, the charming host of American Pickers, is really interested in history and skill in many other areas besides the things he finds to salvage. People know him for searching all over America for lost riches, but his love for the land is also deeply rooted in the places he lives. His properties are more than just homes. They are live, breathing examples of a man who values the past while also making it into something new and amazing. Mike Wolfe's house looks so crazy cool because each one, like the old things he finds, has its own story to tell. Wolfe's homes are picked out and put together with a collector's eye, showing who he is as a person. This is different from the normal celebrity who lives in huge modern homes that don't have any personality. Like the old motorcycles, oil cans, and forgotten Americana he finds on his cross-country hunts, he doesn't just buy houses, he saves them. Every part of his work, from hand-rested wooden beams to bricks that were once part of a beautiful building, shows how much he cares about preserving history. These aren't just houses, they are carefully made time capsules that connect the past and the present. His interest in preserving history isn't just a passing fancy, it's an important part of his life. He has spent years not only fixing up his own homes, but also making whole neighborhoods better, keeping forgotten buildings from being lost to time. Because of this, each of his homes is like a personal museum, where the past and the present live together in peace. Walking into one of Wolfe's homes is like walking into a beautifully put-together antique store, except that each item was chosen with a specific purpose in mind to make the room feel real. How Wolfe decorates his homes has a charm that's almost like a movie. Just a moment. Inside a room that looks and feels like it fits in a frontier cabin, you might be in a rustic lodge-style room. The next thing you know, you're in an industrial area with neon signs from old diners and mid-century modern furniture. It has amazing contrast while still being smooth, demonstrates Wolfe's deep knowledge of art, history, and the natural beauty of broken things. Each home is a part of his ongoing love letter to Americana, and they all have the same daring spirit that makes American Pickers so interesting. His homes are even more interesting because they're not just for show. Wolfe lives in and works on his homes. Unlike many famous people who buy expensive homes and then leave them empty for months at a time, they are parts of who he is and places where he can really get lost in the past while making plans for the future. As a result, with homes that are just as interesting and unique as the man himself, you'll know why Mike Wolfe's house is more than just a place when you see them now. It's an adventure. It is a gem in Tennessee, the Lepers Fork Estate. The Lepers Fork Estate, owned by Mike Wolfe, is more than just a house. It is hidden away in the rolling hills of Tennessee. It's a carefully kept piece of history that has the personality and charm of both its owner and the place where it's found. Beautiful Lepers Fork is known for its old-fashioned charm and rich history. This makes it the right place for Wolfe, whose life's work is to find and preserve America's history. The town is beautiful, but you won't believe how Mike Wolfe's house looks. There is a beautiful mix of history, art, and the clear touch of a man who knows how to bring lost treasures back to life. From the outside, the estate looks like something from an old southern dream. The historic building blends in perfectly with the natural surroundings. The property at 5401 Old Highway 96, Franklin, Tennessee, was fixed up with the help of antique preservationist Bill Powell. Sources say that many of the original features of the 1920s building were kept or fixed up. For example, the front door was turned into a side door and the original beadboard was kept. But it's clear that this is more than just an old house once you step inside. It's a live museum that shows how much Wolfe loves making things and telling stories. An old gas station sign, which is one of his most famous finds on American Pickers, might take up most of a wall, while a carefully arranged collection of old tools or motorbikes, each with its own story, could be shown off in public areas. Wolfe's approach to restoration is characterized by the use of used products. There is a great mix between history and comfort. There is no sense of being stuck in time in the house. Instead, everything seems to have a story waiting to be told. The renovation of the house wasn't a normal job. Wolfe didn't just buy a house, he also fixed up an old lost gem, giving its walls new life while preserving their original shape. He got heart pine beams from old Tennessee barns and made sure that each beam and floorboard had a story to tell. As a result, the house feels like it has been there for hundreds of years, unchanged but well taken care of. A trade secret that could only be used by someone with Wolfe's eye for getting real. His space makes the past and present seem almost unreal in the way they mix together. You might find a workbench from the 1800s that has been turned into a kitchen island, or an old leather couch that looks like it has soaked up decades of unwritten stories as you walk through the house. From the outside, the property looks like a private refuge with wide, untouched landscapes. A porch that goes all the way around is shaded by tall trees, and an American flag slowly waves in the wind, the kind of place where Wolfe can enjoy the peace and quiet that is so different from his busy life on the road. You won't believe how well the estate catches his spirit. Tough and classy, risky, but with a deep connection to the past. It's not just a house, it grows out of everything he loves. You might be happy to know that Wolfe owns more properties than just his beautiful home and guest house, if you thought it sounded like the right place to live. You can get a look at Mike Wolfe's life. You'll want to stay once you see it. Two Lanes Guest House is a hidden gem. Mike Wolfe cares a lot about keeping history alive, and it shows in more than just the places he lives. He lets other people into his world and lives like him for a while through it. This is clearest at the Two Lanes Guest House, a hidden gem that gives tourists a chance to experience the same kind of rustic charm and vintage authenticity that Wolfe himself looks for in every property he works on. Mike Wolfe's house looks so crazy cool, you'll start to understand why as soon as you walk into this guest house. It's more than just a place to stay, it's a doorway to another time, filled with the same magic that makes American pickers so interesting. The Two Lanes Guest House is in the middle of Columbia, Tennessee, and is in a historic building that Wolfe carefully fixed up. He didn't take it apart and make it too modern to recognize, but instead he accepted the building's age and character, adding to its charm with carefully chosen old items that make the room feel like it's from another time. There is a story in every part of the guest house, whether it's the worn-out wooden floors, the old furniture, or the nostalgic art that hangs on the walls. This isn't like other private stays. You can really get into it, and it combines the best parts of American history and classic street culture. This place is very special not only because of how it looks, but also because it shows Wolfe's way of life. He has always thought it was important to keep the past alive, not just in things, but also in the places that hold them. This idea is reflected in the guest house, which lets people not only see, but also feel the history that has shaped the place. When guests check in, they don't just get a room, they enter a carefully chosen space where everything has a story and every design choice has a reason. There are many parts of Wolfe's vision in the guest house, such as the old signs on the walls, the furniture that has been given a new life, and the subtle references to mid-century American road culture. The Two Lanes Guest House is not like his private home, which is a safe place for him, because anyone who shares his love of the past is welcome there. Tourists, history buffs, and American Pickers fans can all meet there and feel like they're in a small town in America and know a little about Wolfe's world. You'll see now that this guest house is more than just a place to sleep. The same way Wolfe does with everything else, this piece of history comes back to life. But these great places aren't just for keeping history alive, they kind of pay tribute to Mike Wolfe's roots. The link to Iowa is a nod to his roots. Mike Wolfe has been very successful and has fixed up some amazing homes across the country, but his heart has always been in Iowa, where he grew up. Wolfe spent his early years in Iowa looking through alleys and empty buildings for old things that had stories to tell. His love of finding old things has shaped not only his work, but also the places he buys for his real estate portfolio. You won't believe what Mike Wolfe's house in Iowa looks like. Unlike the fancy homes of Hollywood's elite, his link to the house where he grew up is one of nostalgia, simplicity, and a deep respect for the past. His homes in Tennessee have a rustic southern charm, but his homes in Iowa feel more like time capsules, paying respect to the industrial and hard-working spirit of the Midwest. Wolfe's homes in Iowa remind him of where it all began, even though a lot of his life is now American Pickers and the treasures he finds on the road. He has made it clear that he cares about more than just houses when it comes to preservation. It's a way to remember the places that helped shape him. This unwavering respect for history can be seen in his properties in the state, especially those near his antique archaeology shop in Leclerc. He has fixed up and taken care of buildings that reflect the region's hard-working blue-collar culture. These aren't fancy multi-million-dollar homes that are meant to please. They are well-loved, tastefully decorated places that remind him of his childhood. His love for the rough and real life in the Midwest can be seen in the building's features, its raw materials, and the carefully chosen antiques that are inside. The link to Iowa is more than just an emotional one. It's part of the image he's created for himself. It's no longer just a store for him in LeClaire. It is a famous spot, a physical representation of his life story, from being a kid on a bike looking for lost gems to becoming a well-known figure in the antiques and restoration world across the country. Wolfe's home state of Iowa is more than just where he was born. It's a base. Even though he spends most of his time at his home in Tennessee, his ties to the Midwest have not changed. You'll understand why his Iowa properties are as much a part of who he is as the riches he hunts once you see the buildings he has chosen to save.